Than white. Why do I keep torturing myself like this?
Harrison, Arkansas, America's most racist.
Why do black people keep going to this place? Harrison, what exactly is in Harrison? Oh, content, the algorithm. That's what. Always the algorithm.
Town. And guess what? I'm not here by myself. I got my dog with me right here. Got America's most racist.
Oh my God. Minstrelsy. Minstrelsy. That's what we have, minstrelsy. Why haven't we established the Republic of New Africa yet? Because minstrelsy, that's why.
Yeah. We out here, right? Out here in white man country. Right, man? Come on,
All this entire fucking country is white man country.
we out here right now, Harrison, Arkansas. Let's go meet America's most racist man.
And y'all heard Kanye say white lives matter. White people lives matter too, especially white school teachers. Yeah.
Hey, let's get it, y'all. Yo, Pooty Feet Charleston.
Make America great again.
I'm selling dope again, I'm selling dope again. Selling dope again, I'm selling dope again. I'm selling dope again, I'm selling dope again.
Okay, so I think I watched a video about this same shithole a couple months ago. But the thing, like, look at how these people live. This place is a shithole. I'm not saying that from like a chauvinist Yankee perspective, but this place is objectively a shithole. Like, when was the last time they did this roof? 1972? Yet, Du Bois would call it false consciousness, but I just call it settler colonialism. Like, as long as white people have somebody to look down upon, they'll live in shitholes like this and think that they still got it made. They'll still vote for people. Did you hear that Trump is like rolling back protections for coal miners? West Virginia, I think, gave him 69% of the vote last year, but they voted for the motherfucker anyway, and now he's going to allow them to continue to die from black lung disease, silicosis, and all that other nasty stuff. What's with all the CSA flags? This is Arkansas. This is like the middle of nowhere Arkansas.
Y'all, we in Harrison, Arkansas right
So you went and you bought a fucking Trump jersey. Not a Trump shirt, a Trump jersey. You patronize these people. You gave the money for what?
now, and I'm supposed to meet Charleston White, but I don't know where he at. Let's go find.
Has he been dragged off into the woods somewhere?
Has anybody seen Charleston White?
I think I've heard of him.
You like a more handsome version of Santa Claus. Anybody tell you that?
Yeah.
Have you seen Charleston White?
No.
We just looked him up.
We just looked him up, so...
He literally dressed like this.
I was just watching a video about him, actually.
I wouldn't come here if I was a black person, I'm telling you right now.
Really? Wow. You're not from here. You just passing through. Right. Did you know that this is considered the most racist town in America?
I heard about it.
People say ignorant things. They're
So why would you stop if you've heard about it? Why would you stop there?
still saying the N-word.
You think I have a good chance of like finding a girlfriend?
Not in this town?
Yeah, best bar.
And you probably would not.
putting
You don't
myself
want no girl out here.
Why not?
I'm very concerned about black women. Very concerned.
You like Charleston White?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be meeting him.
Everything, he always speaks
He crazy, right?
Very.
When I moved here, they had
This just shows the false consciousness of my people. Like, people think that it's just white people saying and doing ignorant shit. No, it's America is just an inherently ignorant ass country. Like, you have this guy he's going down to, like, he knows that Harrison, Arkansas is an extremely racist place. Like, and again, what is there? One Walmart. That's it. One Walmart. That's it. Like, why would you want to go? Why would you want to go to a place like this? You're gonna get lynched for content. That's it.
the Klan meeting down
Really?
in 2012, I think was the last time.
Well, when you got
Yes, happy Constitutional Crisis Day.
the KKK up in the hills, you got racism, big time.
Do you think this is a sundown town?
Yep. There is actually a liquor store called Sundowners.
Where at? In Harrison?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I'm going there next.
Yeah. We out here in Harrison County, Texas.
Of course, he was at the fucking liquor store.
Arkansas.
Harrison,
we at,
Arkansas.
We at the liquor store.
Y'all are still in Texas.
I'm sorry.
That's what he said. He said Texas. And
I
I'm
sure
like,
did. You sure right, ma'am. I said Texas.
What's your favorite liquor? So I could buy you some now. What are you talking about? I was thinking about you when I really put this hoodie on. Bro, I'm trying to buy something for my friend. You know Tom Bowie? He always smokes something. I don't know what it is.
I have no
Maddie.
So what's the significance of your Confederacy?
It's heritage, not hate. A lot of black people part of the Confederate Army as well.
If you could be any race,
No, the only role that black people had in the Confederate Army was as like literal fucking slaves for Confederate officers. Like, yeah, Robert E. Lee had black folks rolling with him, but it was not in the. They only let black people like carry weapons towards like at the very, very ass end of the war. Like during the last 2 weeks of Robert E. Lee was like, you know what? Yeah, we're fucked. We're so fucked. We're a slaveocracy. Let's arm some slaves. They're totally not going to fuck us up. That's how fucked up the Confederacy was. There were no black people in the Confederate Army during the um, halcyon during the fucking salad days of the war. Why would you arm a slave? That's what I keep saying. Like, it's not just white people. America is just an inherently ignorant country.
Race other than black, what race would you be?
White. They the superior race on earth.
So why you feel like white people are?
Show me a black man's army. Show me a black man's navy. Show me a black man's marines. Show me a black man's navy.
All right, I'm done. No more. So, in non-stupid news, well, a different type of stupid. This guy was at the White House today. This is Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador. Interesting thing. His dad was actually a Palestinian Christian convert to Islam. And I believe he founded the first mosque in the country. And yeah. And this guy actually used to at one point like identify as some type of leftist. But upon coming to power, he turned into a hard old school fascist. And now he's basically running Trump's deportation / torture / extermination camps for him in El Salvador. So Gilmar Abrego Garcia, it was a Salvadorian national who the United States government deported on accident to the country that he's from, El Salvador, where he's being held in a notorious mega prison. Honestly, I believe this guy's dead. I honestly believe that they killed this guy because I've seen pictures from CICOT, this mega prison that El Salvador and Bukele are running, and there's like blood all over the ground in one of these like interior courtyards, and there's what appear to be bodies. So yeah, this guy may or may not be alive, but smart money is on unalived. And yes, the Google Map photos of that place are fucking terrifying. It's basically industrial death camp. It's basically Auschwitz on steroids. So Nayib Bukele made the comments about this individual who was deported on accident, like literally deported because of an administrative paperwork error. And Bukele's response was, we can't send this guy back. We're not going to. And Trump literally called this guy out as a member of MS-13. He is not. He was just he was a sheet metal worker, regular working class salt of the earth dude, lived in Maryland, and was deported on accident. So the Supreme Court said that the Trump administration must return this guy, like must facilitate the return, like go get this guy and bring him back. He had no cause to have been deported in the first place. His family misses him. His family is sad, sick, confused. And Trump was like, well, it is something you're going to have to talk to Bukele about. Yeah, Pam Bondi literally said that it's up to El Salvador if they want to return him. So this is where we're at right now. These people can literally deport you by mistake. They can literally just snatch you up and deport you by mistake. And then when you're in CICOT or when you're in a similar facility in whatever foreign country they decide to send you to, they can be like, oh, yeah, we fucked up, but we don't know where he is. Oh, sorry. And by the way, he was a member of MS-13, so that's what they can do to you. Oh, and also they're trying to eliminate birthright citizenship, so they can literally strip your citizenship from you and send you to wherever the hell they want to send you. So Trump praised Bukele for a new partnership under which the U.S. can deport people it alleges are gang members to the Central American nation. A gang can be anything, okay? There is a Revolutionary Communist Youth Brigade. They were affiliated with the Avakianites, the RCP, Revolutionary Communist Party, back in the 80s. The city of Chicago and the state of Illinois literally label these people a gang. So in this atmosphere of political repression and suppression, basically new Palmer Raids, new Red Scare era, they can literally declare that your affinity group, that your Antifa organization, whatever, because The uprisings are going to come back to the streets. The uprisings are totally going to come back to the streets, okay? When that happens, they're going to be a lot more smart than they were in 2020. And see, in 2020 they were kind of ignorant with it. But now they've literally got a plan together. They're going to declare you a gang. If you are in a group of more than 3 or 4 people, they're going to declare you guys a gang. They're going to declare it's a gang. And they are going to go to court, just like they did with Mahmoud Khalil. They're going to go to court. They're going to send you to a hanging judge in fucking Rio Grande City, Texas, or somewhere like that, or Jenna, Louisiana, the literal lynch mob country. Places like that idiot Charleston White was just at. They're going to send you to places like this, and they're going to try to strip your citizenship from you. Yes, it is very, very illegal. But you know what? Fascists don't care. Fascists don't give a fuck about anything besides laws that they make. They don't care about any laws other than those that they make. You already see him attacking so-called liberal judges. And by liberal judge, he means somebody that's like, you can't do this. This is unconstitutional. It's illegal. And it's just fucking dirty. So he wants to try to force these people off the bench. He's ignoring the United States Supreme Court. Like his right-wing ass Supreme Court, a third of which he appointed. His right-wing ass Supreme Court is like, you know what? This is fucking weird. This is fucked up. You can't do this. He's ignoring them. And now this is the result. Marco Rubio said that another 10 alleged. Note that these people have not been convicted of anything. These people have not been convicted of anything. So due process, who needs it? Innocent until proven guilty, who needs it? So you're just going to fucking boot people out of the country to El Salvador. Legal challenges, they're going to deport you before your attorneys and before your family could even retain an attorney that's capable of filing a legal challenge. So the big two that Trump is trying to allegedly deport people under the auspices of is MS-13. It's an old bogey. And Tren de Aragua, which is Venezuelan, or supposedly Venezuelan. MS-13 actually started in the United States. Like their main canard is that this is a group that was imported into the United States. No, these people literally came from the barrios of LA. And they actually returned to El Salvador and they grew into their own there. But MS-13 is an American gang. But this is where we're at. Yes, it is very illegal. And I keep seeing people talk about, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? It's Underground Railroad time, yo. All this, like, open and above board and begging the ruling class. Like, they do not care. It's Underground Railroad time. That's what time it is. They're literally sending people back to El Salvador, sending people who have never been to El Salvador for torture and extermination. 200 people have been sent there just because they are accused of being gang members. He's going all the way back to a law that dates to 1798. So you're using a slavery era ass law to justify deporting people. Assault of the earth steel worker. Thankfully his union is taking up the fight, but we live in rare and uncertain times.
I'd do something, we'd help them out, yeah. We help them. They're great facilities, very strong facilities, and they don't play games. I'd like to go.
By they don't play games, he means that these are torture and extermination facilities. Like, he doesn't care about how these people are treated. None of these people, the United States government does not care about how these people are being treated. They just want them gone out of the country. Why do they want them gone out of the country? To throw raw, right, populist, fascist meat to their base. And as I said before, a lot of black people are stupidly falling for this. Why? Because they believe the old stupid canard that, oh yeah, the Mexicans taking our jobs. No. 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 If you fall for stuff like this, if you believe stuff like this, if you voted for Trump under the auspices of stuff like this, there's something wrong with you. There's something not human about you. Like, why would you, as a person, especially if you're from a colonized group that has gone through this type of shit before. We've never been deported en masse, but we've been tortured, we've been lynched, we've been forced to be slaves. Like all of this stuff, you should have sympathy for people. But instead, you forswear your humanity to align yourself with people like this.
A step further. I mean, I said it to Pam. I don't know what the laws are. We always have to obey the law.
So you don't know what the laws are. You don't know what the laws are, but you are constantly talking about the law. You're constantly talking about victimizing and punishing lawbreakers, but you don't even know what the law is. You're a fucking lawbreaker yourself, bro. You're the first felon to sit in the White House as president of the United States. Your finger is on the nuclear button, and you're a felon. Obviously, I don't like that type of... I'm an abolitionist, okay? I don't like that type of characterizing people because of their legal status, but bro, you're a fucking hypocrite. How are you going to target somebody else for being a criminal and you're a fucking criminal yourself?
But we also have homegrown criminals that push people into subways, that hit elderly ladies on the back of the head with a baseball bat when they're not looking, that are...
If it would make you a dime, you would probably hit an elderly lady over the back of the head with a baseball bat, Mr. President.
Absolute monsters. I'd like to include them in the group of people to get them out of the country, but you'll have to be looking at the laws on that, Steve, okay?
That is illegal. You cannot do that. But he's going to try to find a way. He's going to try to find a way. Let's talk slavery. This is what the average slave owner's house looked like. Most people think that the average slave owner's house looked like this. It didn't. It looked like this. There were two classes of white people in antebellum southern United States. You had slave owners and you had aspiring slave owners. I said that the other day because of this guy.
Because this is my heritage. My family fought to save their farm.
Their farm. What was the Union Army going to do to your farm? Did your farm have slaves?
Under this flag. Who was working that farm?
My
family was. Who was working the farm?
So you're just really light-skinned black dude, huh?
We were poor. Do you know how much a slave cost back then?
So you didn't have any slaves. So you're basically just a cuck for slave owners. That's all. Let's see what the response was. You have that. You have that. Oh, an ANCAP. Fascinating. Of course, ANCAP supports slavery. Well, actually, under a slavery system, most of the ANCAPs would be slaves. That is, if they were like actually physically useful. But I digress. I also didn't know Bukele spoke English. Also, quit being obsessed with like Cleopatra. Okay, Cleopatra was not black. She was Greek. She was a member of the inbred Ptolemaic dynasty. She was descended from one of Alexander the Great's generals. And these people basically fucked each other all the way up until Cleopatra. This lady had so many birth defects, it was ridiculous. You actually had a whole dynasty of black pharaohs from Nubia. You also had multitudes of other African civilizations with interesting cultures and history. Were there black people in ancient Egypt? Of course. It's literally in Africa. But most of our people, our ancestors came from West Africa. Like, study the Nok culture. Study the Sokoto Caliphate. Study Songhai. Study Mali. Study the Congo. Like, we have so much cool shit. And it's ridiculous for you to just, like, glom yourself onto Egypt. Like, Egyptians have even told you to stop doing that. So, apparently this was just a dirt pile, but it still looks remarkably slaughterhousey. But I don't want to see any more horrible pictures like that. But somebody has to bear witness. So in videos produced during these visits, the rare visits that are allowed, Salvadoran authorities are seen saying that prisoners only leave the cell for 30 minutes a day and that some are held in solitary confinement cells which are completely dark. This makes Supermax, AdMax, I think they call it in Florence, Colorado. And PSI stands in solidarity with the CPI Maoists and all their new democratic forces in the struggle against Hundufa fascism and U.S. imperialism. The flames of people's war light the path of the oppressed. I love that Euro Maoist aesthetic. Also got the keffiyehs in. It's so dope. It's good to see somebody still holding the flame of people's war. I saw somebody talking about getting rid of dues waivers for DSA. Like, why would you do that? Like, we already have enough professional managerial class white people fucking shit up. Why would you want to? You know what? I don't even know why people do all these stupid things. I don't know why people do the things they do. Y'all have ever heard of the Veiled Prophet? It's basically like the modern day rich people clan in St. Louis. So after the suppression um of the 1877 general strike in St. Louis, you had like all the cotton merchants and shit. They got together and they celebrated the triumph over the multinational working class in St. Louis. And these are little medallions that the it's called the Veiled Prophet. They literally had this dude that dressed up like a Klansman, and he would. It's basically old school Victorian secret society shit. But they had this. They used to have this big. Well, they used to have this big thing around the 4th of July. They literally called it the VP Fair. That'll go away. But yeah, literal clan shit, right? But everybody that comes to St. Louis, moves to St. Louis, and learns about like how our culture is in St. Louis. This is actually written by one of my organizational comrades, Devin Thomas O'Shea, a fellow STL DSA member. If you're watching this, what's up? So there's so much baggage attached to this thing that um, they were just like, you know what? We're still rich, we're still powerful, but maybe we shouldn't have a guy that literally parades around with a hood over his face for this. So you have the Veiled Prophet Parade, in which a daughter of a local aristocrat, like we have a few extremely wealthy old money families in St. Louis. You've got your Chinooks, you've got your Dearbergs, you've got whoever the fuck the Malincrots are. You got the Deloges, which are like the oldest of old money. You've got the Shotos. There's literally a street named after him. All these people, like, it's not like New Orleans type old money, but it's old money. So after a year of protests against police violence and systemic racism, along with Tish Jones, who was defeated last Tuesday by a pretty substantial margin by Kara Spencer. They were just like, you know what, it's too much baggage attached to this thing. We're not doing it anymore. So, yeah. He's an unelected mascot of St. Louis. He's like a Mardi Gras character, the divine figurehead of an exclusive men's club for St. Louis's ultra rich. He's been a target of protests since the 1960s. As a matter of fact, one of the civil rights groups back in the day, I believe it was either Action or Core, actually slid down a rope and unveiled him during the ball. But people still don't understand like how integrated these people are into St. Louis's economy. Like these people run every fucking thing here. It's a silly. They have a debutante ball. It's just like rich people in pretty much every city in the world do stupid shit like this. But man, all of it, like when you research the history of these things, it's basically class struggle. Like they're literally celebrating the suppression of a proletarian uprising. Veneratio funis. That literally means veneration of the rope. Yeah. So weird ass fucking people. Really glad they're not. I mean, they're still around, but I'm really glad they're not like being feted as they used to be. Yeah, it's crazy, but it happens. This is Marcus Garvey shortly before being deported. You know, I'm not a Garveyite. I like go back and forth between like liking Garvey and not liking him. He was definitely an anti-communist, but also he pissed white people the fuck off. He pisses white people off to this day. Where was he deported to? He was deported to Jamaica. He was Jamaican, and he never came back to America. But he was still the best organizer of black people in history. So. But yeah, Trump is he's destroying this country. That's everybody knows that. He is ending decades of American soft and hard power. Wait till Doge gets a hold on the Pentagon. Wait till Doge gets a hold of the CIA. USAID is gone. And as a Maoist, honestly, like, I'm not with those liberals that are like, oh my God, we have to keep our hands. I'm like, no, fuck all of this shit, okay? The thing is, leftists have to actually organize so that fascists don't fill in the gaps. Somebody burned down the Pennsylvania governor's mansion the other day. A guy from the Order of the Nine Angles, if you don't know who they are, I will tell you who they are. Nine Angles. It is a satanic left-hand path and terrorist network that originated in the United Kingdom. So it's a fascist organization. It's an accelerationist organization. And of course, it has a bunch of weird-ass woo bullshit. But one of those guys was actually wrapped up in an attempt to unalive Orange Guy. They also encourage human sacrifice. So, yeah, really weird group of people. Satanist neo-Nazis. That's exactly what they are. But yeah, one guy murdered his own parents trying to get money or something like that to engage in this bullshit. Let me find the article without getting myself banned. News. Yeah, this guy, he was from Waukesha, Wisconsin.
And how the murders were part of a much larger, disturbing plot. They detail Nikita Kassap's internet activity and conversations about white supremacy and overthrowing the government.
A federal search warrant, unsealed Friday, details a murder plot as part of a plan targeting President Donald Trump. The documents attribute that plot to 17-year-old Waukesha student Nikita Kassap.
Definitely radicalized by the internet.
Charged.
Like, there's Discord groups, there's Telegram groups where, like, they target these weird ass, fucked up ass white kids, and they influence them with all this woo, esoteric, satanic, weirdo bullshit. And this is the result. You guys remember that dude that chopped off his dad's head on live stream? Yeah.
In the shooting deaths of his mother, Tatiana, and stepfather, Donald Mayer, inside their home February 11th. According to prosecutors, the teenager stayed inside the home with their...
Oh, wow. Is that your white working class? Is that a fucking pool or a tennis court in the backyard? No.
Bodies for 12 days.
Victim B.
I imagine this is some of their OPFOR, their human sacrifice bullshit.
The body was appeared to have been deceased for some time, was unable to definitively identify who it was.
Police arrested Kassap in Kansas weeks later, finding him...
No remorse whatsoever.
With his stepfather's car, gun, and $14,000. The motive for the murders, according...
It's amazing amounts of wealth that certain white people just have. Like, 17 years old, and your stepdad has 14 fucking grand just laying around for you to get after you take him out. Like, bruh.
To the federal warrant, was to use that money to fund a plan calling for the president's assassination, to, quote, foment a political revolution in the United States and save the...
Y'all have already gotten your political revolution. What are you talking about? People seem to forget that, like, hardcore old school fascists, they're revolutionary as well. They're counter-revolutionary, but they're revolutionary in the sense that they also want to topple the old order and institute their own.
White race. According to the records, Kassap shared an affinity for the neo-Nazi group, the Order of Nine Angles. And they also reference a 3-page manifesto quoted as saying, as to why, specifically Trump, I think it's obvious.
Accelerationism. They want to bring chaos.
By getting rid of the president and perhaps the vice president, that is guaranteed to bring some chaos. The records show Kassap on the platforms TikTok and Telegram discussed buying a drone to use in an attack. And investigators say he told a classmate, quote, when they saw 10 consecutive attacks in the news, it would have been him.
The dude was dumb. He was talking about it. See, people that are really about that shit, they don't talk about it.
Investigators also say Kassap paid for, at least in part, a drone and explosives to be used as...
Why are fascists? No, why are white people obsessed with Satanism? Honestly, I don't have a problem with white people getting into Satanism. I fully support ancestor worship.
...as a weapon of mass destruction to commit an attack.
And Emily, those documents say Kassab shared some of his ideology and murderous plot with classmates. Any indication those classmates came forward to police?
Not according to these documents. As for his...
Fascinating. Yeah, that's what we're up against. How long would I need to hide before I will be moved to Ukraine? So Tatiana Kassab, was his mom Ukrainian or something? Huh. Very strange. But that's what we're up against. These are the types of people that we're dealing with. So what are we going to do? Well, obviously I'm not going to provide you a whole fucking plan on live stream, but bro, they don't care about the law. They don't care about the law. They don't care about us. They'll literally strip your citizenship away from you and deport you to a fucking hellhole, a work camp, an extermination camp in El Salvador. So if you still need somebody to tell you what must be done at this point, I don't know what to tell you, man. I do not know what to tell you. But shit's going to get a lot worse because the left really is not in a position to make it better right now. You know what people are still trying to talk to me about? They're still trying to talk to me about that whole slavery discourse the other day. That whole Miles Davis discourse where he said he would like to spend the remaining hours of his life slowly choking a white man. First of all, Miles Davis was from East St. Louis. They built him different across the river. Second of all, this dude was born in 1926, just a few years after the East St. Louis race riot. Third of all, like, do you actually expect this man who grew up in the 40s and 50s, well, who was professionally active in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, like, do you actually expect this man to love white people? Like, white people know exactly what they did to black people, okay? Y'all know exactly what y'all did to us. So why the fuck are y'all so obsessed with us liking y'all? Why? Like, y'all still want to talk about the white working class. Okay, these two idiots are in a white working class area. These people are not rich up here, okay, in Harrison, Arkansas. These people are not rich. Like, even during the slavery era, people were talking about the white working class in the South was just as fucked as the white working class in the North. Okay, so what about the fucking slaves? Like, the primary contradiction, if you are in an area where there are slaves, is slavery, not the white working class. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to say fuck the white working class because I don't want it clipped. But who gives a shit? You have people that are toiling in inconceivable conditions. You have people that are literally being deported to be executed or have other horrible things happening to them. And you're still worried about your fucking self. Or matter of fact, you're a white professional managerial class. You don't even care about the white working class. You're just using them as a gotcha. Because you hate black nationalism? Because you hate the fact that black people don't want to fuck with you? Like, what's the fucking deal? Maybe these guys are your comrades. Maybe these guys are your ideological leadership.
Like racism.
I think racism is normal. Every race is a racist. Yeah, nothing wrong with racism. Red birds and blue birds don't fly together. Lizards
Is this guy trolling?
and alligators don't eat together.
I had seen online, you were saying your kids have good hair.
Yeah, black and Mexican.
I think I have some clean dreads. You think this shit cool or not?
That's not good hair.
We in the most
All right. You know what? Fuck this. I'm going back to watching Game of Thrones. Fuck this. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I can't watch too much of this. I'm a